Okay, the last thing we're doing here in the Bluff Mexican Hat area, Valley of the Gods area of Utah, is Fort, not Fort, we're gonna see Bluff Fort. I'm gonna walk around and see what we got here. Cuman Jones, 1893, first owned home built, first owned home. I guess that would be this home here.
It's just, they use that kind of rock.
Yeah, it looks like the rocks.
Solid rocks.
I think, yeah. There's an open door. Oh, it is, well, yeah, it's locked. You can open it to peep in. We're here on Sunday, and we're leaving here on Sunday.
It's open on the other side.
And it's open the other side though. So we can go in that way. Cuman Jones, Linda, with an I, Lindia. Hey.
Lydia.
These are cozy little homes, 1 bedrooms, all you need. Tiny homes, what do you even call them, tiny homes?
Three babies were born on the way, and with the assistance of 2 old-time nurses and the blessings of the good Father, all went well with mothers and children. The good Father had a kind watch care over our whole company of pilgrims, bringing us through without death or serious sickness or accident of any nature. Nearly everyone was helpful and kind and good-natured, and in very rough places, men would rally to each other's help, steadying the wagons down the slick rocks with long ropes and pushing and pulling up the hills. With them was an old-timer named Barnes, whose ponderous laugh, echoing through camp, would bring at least a good-natured smile to the faces of all who heard. Looking back on it now, and considering how that large company, working and blasting their way through a country of that nature, and being there during
Oh, that chicken's real when I first looked at him. Looks like a stuffed chicken, maybe. Nah. Could be. Looks like feathers, though. Real feathers on it. Oh, we got these stone homes. It could be original. These wooden homes, I don't know. But see, if it's open, and it is, and I'm gonna select English.
Williams, at age 19, came along to help Ben and her sister Marianne with their children. To quote from her journal, "Imagine my surprise and indignation when about 6 miles out from Cedar City, I had the lines put in my hands and was told that was my team and wagon to drive, an experience I had never had before." When they arrived at their destination on April 6, 1880, she said, "I didn't see anything there to stop for, nor could I see how it was possible to make a town in such a place. How thankful I was I didn't have to make my home there." She was not a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but was so impressed with the people that she soon became the first convert baptism in Bluff. She said, "The longer I lived among these people, the more convinced I became that Mormonism was the religion for me. I entered the waters of baptism in the fall of 1880. I was baptized in the San Juan River by Charles E. Walton Sr. That same fall, I returned to my home in Cedar City. The following year, she became Benjamin Perkins' second wife and would raise their 10 children in Bluff.
I don't. They all have a story.
I just want to see the inside.
Platt P. Lyman. Platt was born in the back of a wagon on August 20th, 1848. 2 wagons had stopped on the banks of the Platte River for 30 minutes while he was born. They would travel for 2 more months before reaching the Salt Lake Valley. Platt had only 3 weeks of formal education, but his mother taught him to read and write by the age of 6.
Those would be eggs.
He studied the rest of his life. He cowboyed, freighted, and farmed. He provided the main source of income to his widowed mother and siblings. He loved to read and always had some books in his saddlebags. He loved horses and said, "The best thing for the inside of a man."
Okay, put your picture in the face there. We'll be the Bluff Fort family. Side roofs. Here's side on the roofs. Probably eventually had goats on top of it. Keep it mowed and fertilized.
Yeah, this rock is from the
Watch your step, it says. This is was a family's home here.
Mama had been washing and ironing all week. It wasn't often that we had a picture taken. In those days, we had to sit very still while the cap on the lens of the camera was removed and left off for 30 seconds or more. It must have been a daunting task getting 7 children not to wiggle, but Mama was determined. Looking back, I wonder if she somehow knew that this would be our last photograph. Caring for a large family was very hard work, and Mama didn't seem quite herself as we waited the arrival of child number 8. Papa thought Mama would have hurried him to build her new flower bin and cupboard when he brought some wood for her from one of his freighting trips. Mama kept Papa busy with other jobs and he never got around to the cupboard. It was as if she had a premonition. Mama passed away a few days after giving birth to my youngest brother, Ray Wesley. Papa had been laying out the wood for Mama's cupboards, but instead used the good wood for her coffin. It was hard to be happy after Mama died. Sometimes I would sit in her rocking chair and look at that last photograph hour after hour. I could almost feel her coming. Can I see things clearly now? If there's one thing I know, one day we will all be
Okay, all these cabins belong to different families. This one, the Barton cabin. West wall of Bluff Fort. I don't know why they put the name before fort, but I'm not used to that. Bluff Fort. Well, I wonder if it was a. I wonder if Fort had walls around it, or it was just. Yeah, I'm not gonna go in that cabin. Old farm tools what they use. Blacksmith shop. Be a good place to work during the winter time. No, I did not know that. I didn't know you put shoes on oxens. I guess oxen shoes, huh? It's a 2-part shoe. Hobbs siblings cabin.
I was just 22 when called to the San Juan Mission. I had 2 sisters and their families who were also a part of the San Juan Mission call, Elizabeth and her husband Henry, and Ellen Agnes and her husband Amos Hiram Fielding. My family lived in Parowan. I was still single when I went on the expedition. During the next few months, I was called to be a scout on all 4 of the exploring parties. I saw the difficulty in the lower trail across Lee's Ferry and across the reservation. I traveled back the upper route when we left Elizabeth and her family at Montezuma Creek. Hall, Roman color.
Odie and Jens Jr.
They're all the same.
It's an orchard, including Mormon apricots, plums, Navajo white peaches.
They're all the same.
All the same, she says. And the garden. A happy place. They're still farming the garden, except with modern watering techniques here.
You already got fruits on this.
Yeah, got some kind of fruits on these already. Huh. This is worth the stop. It's free admission. The visitor center is closed today on Sunday.
Sold or built.
It looks like a cook's wagon or something or other, maybe. Yeah, oh yeah, got this wagon encampment display. So we set up camp. And that's a washboard. Again, you got your washboard roads. That's how they get named. Washboards, just like a washboard you scrub your clothes on. Well, you climb up here and look in the wagon. Oh, got a little heat stove in there on one bed area, mat area. We got the set the pot pan on the fire out there. So his cabin belonged to, you know, different people, different families. I went in a few of them. Sammy Wood and Josephine Wood. Aunt Jody, they called her. Butt family. I bet they were a butt of a lot of jokes. I gotta hear what they gotta say about them. Let me go in before I hit the button here. Open the door.
The death of N.C. Bayless Butt, from the journal of her daughter, Lenora Butt Jones. October 10th, 1897 was a windy, cold day. While playing with the children and popping corn for us, Mother was stricken with a coughing spell. By night she was chilly. We built a fire in the fireplace. By bedtime she was worse and retired without eating. She remarked to my father that she was grateful for her new sewing machine and for the way we children had taken over the household duties. Soon she dropped off to sleep and suddenly into convulsions. At 10 o'clock, the neighbors were summoned by my dear brother John, and Joseph Christensen was dispatched for Ed Hyde, an amateur surgeon. He came, but too late. Soon after midnight, Mother died, and also the babe which was never born. As other women had died in childbirth, so did my mother. She was 33 years old. The people were notified. They came, not a few, but many. When Uncle Hanson arrived from Thompson Spring, he and Father threw their arms around each other and wept bitterly. The funeral was held on a knoll near the house where Mother, on a beautiful spring day, had once taken me to pick wildflowers, and it was there that she had remarked to me that this would be a good place for a cemetery. I was the only one who knew that she had picked that very spot. On the day of her funeral, I was taken there to see her lowered into the grave, and recollections of that spring day eased my sorrow-torn heart. Read by Jessica Jones, great-great-granddaughter.
Do not drink. I wonder, I gotta push the pump. I always see these pumps. I doubt if it goes down into the earth. I bet it'd be a pump, just pumps water out of the barrel here and goes right back in the barrel. Priming it may pump. Oh, that'd be the co-op store. No. Could be. That does look partly like it. Or no, it doesn't. I guess it stood somewhere around there.